First of all, I'm an architect, and I finished from ABU Zaria and designed how to follow it. The associate the right to create my own fund because I need some commissions, projects from them. Reluctantly, I took that job. It's among an MD of Federal Mortgage Bank on the way home. Take me to construction sites, and I took it by weekends that I met that made a mark in me were the Redan, Imban, and the labor centers. Redan president, who is just here by my left side, he was the Redan chairman at that time. He came into my office and said that they are the Redan discussions. He was telling me the problems of FMBN. And I kept listening them. I listed all the problems. The next time, Imban president came with the Imban executive secretary, Mr. Watershed. They also told me what after of labor center they are coming. NLC president, TUC president, and the chairman of the DG of NECA. They have been contributing since 1990. And I made my mark that my own task will be how do I solve these problems that these people have presented to me. And believe me sincerely, all the success stories I've had in FMBN is towards solving these problems. You take these things, believe me sincerely, FMBN will move further than what it is. This is just one aspect of it. If you come to staff, also there is also decay in the staff because there is no, the staff morale was too low. There's no staff in FMBN has not gotten promotion twice. I find that there are over 270 casual staff. They kept on employing casuals, but they will never have the guts to employ full staff. 270 casual staff, they are being paid a peanut of 45,000 naira monthly, a degree holder, and 25,000 for them. I pick more than 50% of them, I absorb them into the bank, and then tell them to move. So that is one aspect that the labor within the bank, they were happy with. Being reviewed for over 10 years. Somebody who is being paid 200,000 naira per annum as a southern allowance, after 10 years, it must have doubled or even tripled. So I find the way that we have to practically go the rent allowance we are going to give you. And that's what happened. We build the staff morale and they are able to do it. In most cases, you don't want to be called an FMBN staff. People always want to hide their faces. That's what we have to face and ensure that we reform the place. So there is a multiple of problems. First, the Redan are the Real Estate Developer Associations. This is Redan, this is Real Estate Developers. Our major stakeholders who will get most of the construction sitting with me were able to solve a lot of developers' problems. We collaborated with them, they assisted, they go and liaise with those developers, and things were sorted. They are nowhere to be found. The assistants to sit down with them, with the directors, and were able to solve most of these things. So these are the issues that we do. So throughout my tenure in FMBN, there is no magic apart from solving these problems that we achieve. That's what we are able to achieve, most to say. Therefore, I recognize the friendship and appreciate the friendship, support, and immense goodwill that the executive director of this very important gathering, Housing Advocacy Group, Mr. Festus Adebayo, has extended to me during the presentation, and then discuss. Because that kind of forum that he always organizes annually is an annual event of all housing advocates and housing finance institutions where we meet here in Abuja, we discuss all issues. The expiry of our tenure to inform me that he's planning a dinner for me for today. That's why I have to say that, Mr. Festus, I thank you very well. And I have to thank you. And you are doing, in keeping the government, leaders of housing development institutions and housing industry stronger on their toes. Because believe me sincerely, whenever he speaks, you'll find that he speaks with cogent reason. And he goes that are dealing with housing finance. And that they ensure that they do the right things. So yeah, advocacy is key to the collective effort to increase. Sincere thanks also goes to everyone here today for making our time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. I say my former colleagues in FMBN, and the board secretary, the former board secretary, she's now a former board secretary because she's no more in that position. They have done very well, especially in the board aspects. I don't like to bother you much, but permit me to say a few words to put the honor of this dinner in perspective. The little thing I will say is that FMBN is a very important agency. Affordable home ownership for Nigerians. And it is a huge privilege to have been chosen by Mr. President. As I say, it's that brought me there. The first thing that Mr. President wanted to, that's why he should listen before. It's about to be, then suddenly, I've had the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, and I had the announcement. So as I look forward back, I can only say that we gave it our best shot from behind. I always say at the end of the month, entrepreneurs, workers, people that shall or even the unemployed. The hardship in getting the mortgages. Many people complain that it's difficult for you to get the mortgage. You have to give equity of 10%. About 10 million to 15 million, 0% equity. These are kind of things that we did. We created many projects that are, there's an average of 68 billion per annum. But when we came only, since we have this much of contributions, we disbursed over 175 billion naira within our 5 years. We made that in 25 years, only 152 billion naira has been disbursed as mortgage. Contributors who have contributed and resigned, we gave out up to 40 billion naira. When we came, we found that there's a lot of complaints. People have been contributing, they retired, but for them to get their refunds, billion naira has been disbursed, has been refunded to contributors. But within our tenure of 5 years, we refunded just not that complaint. When I came in FMBN, I met a full store full of Ghana Musgos of requests from various states of the. We said no, let them all take them back to their various state offices. Let us decentralize the processing. They should process it there and then forward just to the head office for payment. And we gave them targets. Within 3 months, send it. By then they have done over 70%. And they sent a letter of request, please give us an extension of 1 month and 47,000 retired NHF contributors. We also revamped the cooperative housing development law for the informal. We gave the first cooperative housing development to cooperative societies, construction finance for their estates. So we have over 160 estates. From January to March will be just the time for commissioning. Every week I would like to commission at least 5. The new management, when they come on board, they will go and start commissioning those projects. But those projects are there and they will soon be commissioned. Because through that 1 million, that's what you find in FMBN. It represents over 59%, 433. We left the FMBN of over 33,000 houses. Already. We also initiated the mega city projects under the National Economic Sustainability Program. I realized the FMB whereby one will be 1,250, and the other one 2,500. I started with the 1,250. It's already finished. Over 70% has been finished, and the houses are being more. Notably, I've said it earlier, we've created innovative products such as the rent-to-own. The essence of creating rent-to-owns was the fact that most of the cities, because there is hardly, you find no state of the federation that doesn't have FMBN funded estate in it. So creating that rent-to-own, this one by individual with their own title, they can go and build their own, they can come and collect their own loan. We have to get supervisors in every state of the federation. So through our efforts, I have to employ over 63 professionals in the built environment into the bank to ensure that no branch of the bank doesn't have a built profession. We created diaspora mortgage loan in some of our visits to the diasporas. This is some of the interaction we've had. That's why I said most of our things that we've been to some of these foreign countries, we met some of Nigerians living outside, they still need loan to build their own houses. That's what FMBN services apart from revamping the cooperative housing development. This is also one of it.